Hi everybody, my name is Paula and I'd like to welcome you to my Real Polish Fanatic little corner of YouTube. Thank you so much for stopping in and spending some of your day with me. I do appreciate you being here. Today, happy holidays! It's only September, like the middle of September, but I received OPI Holiday 2025 collections today in the mail. The collection name is Good Enough to Treat. It's for Holiday 2025. Today I'm going to be showing you the regular lineup. By the end of the weekend, or maybe Monday, I will be showing you the Infinite Shine portion of this collection. Don't have a whole lot to say. It's a holiday collection from OPI. Love it. I think the official release date is October 1st, so after October 1st you can start looking in Ulta's and all those sorts of places, whoever sells OPI, or I purchased mine from polishpick.com. I've been purchasing from her for 9 years. I do have something to say. I had another broken bottle this month, or this collection, and I know Diane feels awful about it. I feel awful about it, but one of my regular lineup bottles broke. It's not, I don't think it's anything Diane is doing. I don't know, maybe OPI has changed their bottles, or there's just some stop along the way between Florida and California that just doesn't like my packages and throws them around a little bit more rough than they used to. But like I said, I've been ordering from her for 9 years, never had I think I've only had one other broken bottle before last collection. And yeah, I mean, she is so fast to take care of it. I've already emailed her. She's already replied kind of late on a Thursday for Eastern time and said, you know, which one was it? I will get you one out in the mail. So, I mean, she absolutely stands behind her products and the people who order from her. So please don't let this dissuade you from ordering from polishpick.com. Their prices are phenomenal. They have pretty much, I think, half price, at least half price off retail. Regular line OPIs are $6 and the Infinite Shine OPIs are $7.25. And then shipping just goes by how many bottles you purchase. So anywhere pretty much the top tier is $13 and then starts at like $6.50 or $6.75, something like that if you just buy a couple, and that's all on her website. But I don't have much else to say about this, so I am going to turn the camera around. We're going to jump right into Holiday 2025. Merry Christmas. All right, OPI Holiday 2025. We're going to be looking at the regular lineup. In case you were wondering, if you see my beautiful blue nails, this polish is so gorgeous. So this is my birthday week, and so sapphire is my birthstone, and I just received this beautiful polish in from, I think, Hella Handmade. Let's see, Sartorial Dilemmas of the Winged Male. Yeah, Hella Handmade Creations from August, from Lurid, so Lurid Lacquer. This is so, so beautiful. There's some reflective in there. There is blue glitter. It's kind of like a jelly kind of base. Oh, this is so, so pretty. Thought that was perfect for a sapphire mani for my birthday week. So that is what is on my nails. And we are just gonna dive in here. OPI Holiday 2025, Good Enough to Treat. Up first, we have this pretty gold. This one is called Nougat by Nature. So this is sort of like almost like a bronzy gold, almost like kind of like a antique gold kind of a thing. And that one on the swatch wheel we have right here in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats with a matte top coat. Very pretty. Let me find my little black thingy. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's a little better. It's a little bit more bronzy. It's sort of like that color. I don't know why it doesn't want to look that color straight on, but anyway, here it is, 3 coats matte. This is just 2 coats and 1 coat. Pretty smooth on this one, on that first coat. Some of these were a little bit patchy, but second coats did seem to fill them in nicely. But let's go in here and put on our 3rd coat, Nougat by Nature. This is pretty. It has little sparkles, looks like maybe gold sparkles on top of that kind of brassy gold base color. I don't have any official descriptions or anything like that, but this is very pretty for the holidays. It is a little bit more brown than that, like I say, a little bit more copper. It's just not wanting to come out. But here that is, 3 coats matte, 3 coats, and 1 coat. Very, very pretty. It's more that color. Anyway, this one is called Nougat by Nature in 1 coat, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. Very, very pretty, kind of bronzy, antique-y gold kind of a color. That one over black, I didn't put all of these over black, but I put anything that had kind of sparkles in it over black. So this is just 1 coat over black with a glossy top coat. Just leaves all that gold sparkle behind. Very pretty. There it is, 3 coats on its own, 1 coat over black. I did do some layering things too that we'll look at the very end. Up next, we have this pretty one here. This one is called Me Up Toffee. So this is sort of like a rose gold, or I guess like a pink with gold and greenish kind of shimmer, but it's sort of rose gold on the swatch wheel. Here we have it in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. Very, very shiny. Very shimmery. Let's go in and put on a 3rd coat. This also has kind of like a golden shimmer against that sort of rosy base color. It does deepen up pretty nicely from 1 coat to 3. This one also went on pretty smooth, it looks like, in that 1st coat. Here it is with a matte top coat. 3 coats matte, 3 coats, 1 coat on its own. This is very pretty. You do see a little bit more pink in person than maybe what the camera is picking up. It's kind of like a pinky purple even. I don't know if the camera is picking that up, but this is really pretty. And then that really strong golden shimmer, and then there's some sparkles in there too. Very, very pretty. And this one is called Me Up Toffee. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. I like it. That's a good one. And that one over black is a little bit similar to that first one, a little bit more sparse, but still has that kind of golden shimmer. You can see this one seems a little bit more opaque. This one you can see a little bit more of the black between it. Very pretty though. And there it is, 3 coats on its own, 1 coat over black. And up next we have this here. This one is called Ginger Snapped. So this one is sort of like a reddish brown. And then it looks like larger gold shimmer or maybe even flakes in there. Looks pretty in the bottle. Let's see. I think that's closer to color. It's a little darker than what the white was showing. So here it is, very pretty. This was called Ginger Snapped. And that one on the swatch wheel, let's see what we need to do. That looks very close. This is it in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. Kind of like that with the matte top coat. You can really see all those kind of flakes or the larger shimmer particles, whichever it is. That's pretty. Let's go in and put on a 3rd coat. So here we have that one now in 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. This is pretty. It's sort of like more like a pinky brown almost than a reddish brown actually. Maybe there's some orange in there or something, but it's not really like a milk chocolate. I think that's pretty close to color there maybe. It's not really like a milk chocolate. There's something either kind of pink or kind of orange going on in there too. And then like a brown. Loving it with that matte top coat though. So here we have Ginger Snapped in 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. Like it, it's kind of an unusual color. It's pretty. And then up next we have just a very pretty brown, almost has a touch of red to it, I feel. This is just a cream formula. This one is called Star-zipan on the Tree. I should have looked at these names before I started. I think that's what that says. So just sort of like a brown, like a kind of a darker brown, not really, really dark. And then it looks like just maybe a touch of red in there. Oh, I didn't show you that last one. Ginger Snapped over black is right here. So doesn't do all that much over the black. It just sort of leaves that kind of brownish, pinky, kind of pinkish brown shimmer or flakes, whatever they are. And here was that one. 3 coats on its own and 1 coat over black. All right, this brownish, almost with a red tinge cream. Here it is in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. Very nice. It went on a little bit streaky here in the first coat, but the second coat really filled everything in nicely. But let's go in and put on a 3rd coat. I don't know if you would need the 3rd coat or not. So here we have a Star-zipan on the tree. I don't know even what that's supposed to mean. In 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. Just a very nice brown cream with just a tinge of like a red in there. That seems pretty color accurate there. And this one is, I don't know if I did this, Star-zipan on the Tree. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. I did not put the creams over black, so we won't look at that one. And then up next, of course, a beautiful red This is a really deep red. It's not wanting to come across correctly either, I don't think. But this one is called Red Velvet Vixen. Very pretty. It looks like maybe a blue-based red, and I think this leans into being more of a acrylic formula than a true cream. And here it is on the swatch wheel. 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. I feel like it's a bit brighter. I'm not sure. It's a dark but bright red, if that makes any sense at all. And here goes a 3rd coat. But I do feel this one is more of a acrylic, kind of in between a jelly and a cream. Not quite as translucent as a jelly, but not quite as opaque as a cream. But here we have it in 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. Very nice formula, even there on that first coat. Very, very smooth. Hopefully it's coming across as red and not, it's looking kind of like an orangey almost on my camera. So hopefully it's coming across as red, because it's a beautiful blue-based, dark yet bright red. Red Velvet Vixen. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. That does not look correct at all. Hopefully it comes out better than what I'm seeing. And then up next we have another red. This one has got some gold sparkles and like flakies or larger glitter. Very pretty. This one is called Spread the Cherry. And here we have that one in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. Kind of like it with that matte top coat. It has this really pretty glow to it. all that golden shimmer and glitter and stuff just really gives it a very nice glow. And again, this one is a little bit darker of a red possibly than what it's coming across. Let's go in and put on a third coat. So here we have that now in 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. It dries down a little bit dull. I noticed that here with the second coat too. It's so pretty when it's wet. I'm gonna see if a top coat will bring that back to life once it dries down, because I noticed that second coat anyway. We'll see how this third coat dries, but at least the second coat kind of dried a little dull, but it's so pretty here now that it's still wet. So we'll see what a top coat does too, and we'll take one final look at these. And here we have Spread the Cherry, 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. Very pretty red with some golden shimmer. I think it might just be like a larger particle shimmer rather than flakes, but I'm not positive. And there it is, Spread the Cherry, 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. That one I did put over black. So that one is right here, and that just leaves all that pretty red shimmer. I'm not even really seeing any golden shimmer through there. It looks all red. And there it is, 3 coats on its own, 1 coat over black. The black does have a glossy top coat. And up next we have a pretty blue. This is a very dark, like a very dark navy blue, maybe almost like a midnight blue. Let's see. I think it's better without the black. This one is called Havin, a Candy Old Time. Just a very, very dark, kind of between like navy and midnight. And that one on the swatch wheel we have right here in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. You can see how dark that is. It really does deepen up. That first coat is almost royal looking. That looks very color accurate to what I'm seeing. It's almost like a royal blue. And by the second coat, look how much darker that got. That got into a very much of a, like a midnight blue. And then there are 3 coats with the matte top coat, kind of like that. Very velvety looking. We'll go in and put on our third coat. I think this one also wants to lean more to be a crelly than a regular cream. Crellies sometimes I think in my opinion, have a little bit better formula, a little bit easier to apply. Sometimes creams get a little bit streaky, but this one looks pretty good there in that first coat. So here we have this one, 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. It gets very, very dark and moody there by the third coat. Kind of love it. This is one that you might, as you're wearing it, we'll go through and look at it on my nails too. I'm gonna gloss them up and then we'll look at them all on my nails. And this one might be one of those polishes that even though it is blue, it may actually look black once it's on the nail if you do 3 coats. But here we have Havin' a Candy Old Time in 1 coat, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. And then up next, we have, this is so beautiful in the bottle. I'm seeing blue and teal and even like purple, a little bit of pink, all these colors in the bottle. So, so pretty. This one is called Yuletide Sweetings. So gorgeous in the bottle. So, so pretty. And then we put it on the swatch wheel. We have it here in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. I'm not seeing any of that shift. I'm not seeing anything purple. I'm seeing like that gray. It has like this gray base here. And then I'm just really seeing kind of a teal color. It was very streaky here on the first coat. The second coat, for the most part, has filled that in. I don't know, even the 3 coats looks a little bit streaky, but that could have also been my matte top coat that I used. I used a different one than what I have been using, so some of that streakiness may come from the matte top coat. I'm using a very old one. Let's go ahead and put on a 3rd coat and see what this will do. And just so you know, OPI has not changed their brushes. They're still the kind of skinnier brush. So here we have it now in 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. And yeah, at least under these lights, I am seeing teal, like a black based with teal shimmer. That's all I'm seeing. I don't know, maybe natural light will help us get something different. But no matter how I twist and turn this, I'm not getting any of that pretty blue or purple or anything else that I'm seeing in the bottle. It's so pretty in the bottle. That one over black, again, just leaves kind of all that teal shimmer. Again, no matter how I'm moving this around, I'm not getting any sort of shifts or anything, just pretty much teal. Kind of a disappointment. Here it is, 3 coats on its own, 1 coat over black. And up next we have a pretty silver. This one seems to have teeny tiny blue and silver, like micro glitter, I think. This one, let's see if we can read this. I was cleaning off the bottle and I took off some of the name here. Let me see. All right, so I took off most of the name here, but this one is called OPI'm Frosted. It's very hard to see it down there, right down here. But just a pretty silver. It may even have kind of like a pink shimmer and then teeny tiny little blue and silver like micro glitter. And that one on the swatch wheel, we have right here in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. This is pretty. It seems to have a very good formula. Doesn't seem streaky even there in that 1st coat. When I was painting this on, I could really see the little blue shimmer bits sparkling through. It seemed to dry down again a little bit flat. So we'll see what a top coat will do. Because right after you paint it on, it's very pretty, very sparkly. You see little twinkles of blue and silver. Very nice. This is 3 coats with a matte top coat, 3 coats, and 1 coat. And I'm gonna, let's see if this, maybe this will help you there. This one is called OPI'm Frosted. That's what that one is. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. And then up next we have this pretty black with silver sparkles. Again, it almost looks like it has maybe a bit of a pink tinge to it also. So this one is called Tempted to Lick-orice. Tempted to Lick-orice. All right. Very pretty, black base, silver. Oh, that silver one we just looked at, the OPI'm Frosted, that one over black is right here. So you can really kind of see the blue. I am seeing like a pink or purple shimmer in there too, but you can see sort of those blue little bitty baby micro glitter also. 3 coats on its own and then the 1 coat over black. And then this black one here with the shimmer, here is that one in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. Kind of like that with the matte top coat. Again, it gives like this really satiny, but it's sort of like glowy. Kind of like it. Let's go in and put on a 3rd coat. So here we have that one now in 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. It's pretty. This is a pretty piece of coal that you get in your stocking maybe. Nice. And this one is called Tempted to Lick-orice. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. And that one over black, I ran out of nails, so I just sort of put it here in the middle. Again, it just leaves pretty much that silver sparkle behind. And the last one I have to show you is this pretty purple. It looks like it has kind of purple and maybe blue sparkles in there. Again, this one looks so pretty in the bottle, gorgeous. It is called Berry and Bright. Gorgeous, gorgeous in the bottle. And that one on the swatch wheel is right here in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. Loving that with the matte top coat. Very velvety, very glowy, kind of lit from within there down the center. So, so pretty with the matte top coat. Let's go in and put on a 3rd coat. This is very pretty when it's wet. I'm loving that deep shade of purple, and then we get lots of pink and almost like either blue or a different shade of purple, little bitty glitter. Very, very pretty. This is it, 3 coats matte, 3 coats, and 1 coat. This one also a little streaky in that 1st coat, not too bad. And this one is called Berry and Bright. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. And that one over black is right here. It leaves all this kind of purpley pink shimmer. Kind of pretty. It's not too far off actually from 3 coats on its own, and the 1 coat over black, it is a little bit deeper over that black. And then I did some playing. So I took this first brown cream. This one was called Star-zipan on the Tree. I took 1 coat of this. And then I took 1 coat of this first kind of antique-y bronzy gold, Nougat by Nature, and I layered them on top of each other right here, just 1 coat of each, 1 coat of the brown cream, and then 1 coat of that gold. The gold is a little bit too opaque to really look much different than I think it does on its own. Let me find its, let's see. Here it is down here on its own. This one down here, and so there it is, like 3 coats on its own, and then up at the top is that layered. So they're not that far off, so not sure that was worth it. And then I took that same brown cream, Star-zipan on the Tree, and I took the second polish that we looked at, this pretty kind of rosy gold, Me Up Toffee. And I layered those 2 together right here. 1 coat of the brown cream, 1 coat of the toffee one. So that's kind of pretty. Let's see. That's quite a bit different than it is on its own. Down here is on its own. Up at the top is the layered. So it gives it a little bit more of a bronzy kind of look, and then just a little bit of like a pink tinge coming through. That's kind of pretty. All right, what else did I do? Then I took the red Crelly, Red Velvet Vixen, and I put 1 coat of the shimmery red, Spread the Cherry, and I layered those 2 together right here. That's pretty. Let's see how different that is from the red on its own. Down at the bottom is the red on its own. And up top is the red Crelly with the red shimmery one. So that brightens it up just a little bit, layering it over that red. rather than having it be there on its own. There's the red on its own. And then what did I do? Then I took the dark blue cream or crelly, having a candy old time, and I put one coat of this shimmery one called Yuletide Sweetings. Layered those two right here, just one coat of each. And that doesn't also, I don't think that looks all that much different. Let's see. It's maybe a little bit brighter, or it's really not all that much different. Maybe just a little bit brighter for some reason. All right, and then I did something kind of fun. I took this silver, which was the OPI'm Frosted, and I took one coat of this just red, kind of crelly, red Velvet Vixen, and I layered those together right here. That's very pretty. So that silver underneath a crelly, you can do this with crellies or jellies. It works really well with jellies. It brightens it up and just gives it a little bit of sparkle, like it's sparkling from within almost, like glowing from within. That's very, very pretty. And if we look at that, here it is next to the red on its own. I don't know if you can see, it's just a little bit glowier. Just there's like something inside there, you can tell. And just to show it next to the other red sparkly one, quite different from that, but that's very pretty. You can do that with, if you have any sort of silver metallic or silver something similar to this one, just put like a crelly or a jelly and it just will change it up a little bit and just brighten it up a little bit too. All right, then I took the dark blackish kind of one, or dark gray, black, whatever it is, Tempted to Lick-orice, and I put one coat of the silver OPI'm Frosted, and I layered, actually I did two coats of the dark and then one coat of the lighter silver. So that's kind of pretty. Let's see if it lightened it up some. So here it is next to the black all on its own, and then here it is next to the silver on its own. So it did just deepen that up a little bit, but not as much as that. So that's kind of a pretty layering thing. Two coats of the darker one coat of the lighter silver. And then I took the red crelly, red Velvet Vixen, and I put one coat of this purple, this last one, Berry and Bright. So this one is one coat of the red with one coat of that kind of purple color. That's kind of pretty. And these all do have glossy top coats, all my little layering thing. So if we look at that, here it is next to the purple all by itself. It makes it a little bit brighter. It's a little bit more similar to one coat on its own, but if we look at the one coat of the red with the one coat of the purple, it's a little bit brighter than having it there on its own. And then of course it's gonna look different than the red. There's the red on its own, and then one layer of the purple over. And then I took that same red, the red Velvet Vixen, I'm learning the name now, red Velvet Vixen, and I put a coat of, oh, this one. No, I did not use the red Velvet Vixen for that. Wait, let me see. I took one coat of the purple, the Berry and Bright, took one coat of this and put one coat of this Beautiful in the Bottle polish. That's what it should be called, Beautiful in the Bottle, but it is called Yuletide Sweetings. And I layered those two together. I was hoping maybe the purple would help some of that purple shimmer come through, but maybe it actually does up at extreme angles. I'm not sure. I may have to play with this one over some other colors, but there it is over just the purple on its own. And here it is next to that, the top color, Pretty in the Bottle, on its own. So it definitely does change it up, and you can see a little bit more purple through there, layering it over a purple. So that might be a way to get some of those purple shifts to show. All right, let's take one final look at these, like if I was going to be wearing them. We started off here with Nougat by Nature, 3 coats matte, 3 coats with a glossy top coat, 1 coat on its own. I guess I could do it this way. There is 1 coat, 3 coats glossy, 3 coats matte. I really like that one because it's not gold, it's kind of a bronzy gold. That's pretty. And then we moved on to Me Up Toffee. Here's that one in 1 coat, 3 coats with a glossy top coat, 3 coats with a matte top coat. This is more of like a rose gold color. I don't know if that rose part is coming through there or just the gold is coming through for you. This is very, very pretty, very shiny, very sparkly. Really like that one. And then we move to Ginger Snapped. Here's that one in 1 coat. This is 3 coats glossy, 3 coats matte. Love that with the matte top coat. I think that's very fun. It's nice also, glossy. Kind of an unusual color. It's sort of a brown, but either with a tinge of pink or orange or something going on in there. It's not like a milk chocolatey brown. There, I think that's actually pretty close to color. 3 coats matte, 3 coats glossy, 1 coat. And then we went to this brown cream, Star-zipan on the tree. Let me know in the comments what that's supposed to mean. Here it is in 1 coat. This is 3 coats with a glossy top coat, 3 coats with a matte top coat. Just a very nice brown cream. This does have, I feel like, a tinge of red to it possibly. And then we move to this red, more of a crelly kind of a thing. Red Velvet Vixen. Here it is, just 1 coat. Very, very nice in 1 coat. This is it in 3 coats. It deepened up a whole lot there in 3 coats with a glossy top coat, 3 coats with a matte top coat. Very nice. And then we went to this red with the gold shimmer called Spread the Cheery. Here it is in 1 coat. 3 coats with a glossy top coat, 3 coats with a matte top coat. And then we went to a second swatch wheel and we went to that blue. This one was called Havin, a Candy Old Time. Starts out a little bit more of a royal blue. There it is in 1 coat. Gets very deep and dark and moody, kind of a midnight blue there at 3 coats, and then 3 coats with a matte top coat. And then we moved on to Prettier in the Bottle, which is actually called Yuletide Sweetings. Here it is in 1 coat, 3 coats glossy, 3 coats matte. This is a pretty polish, just the bottle is like phenomenal, and so it's a little bit of a letdown, at least under these lights. Maybe in other lighting it will look better, I don't know. Then we moved on to that pretty silver with the little blue and silver sparks. And this one was called OPI'm Frosted. Here it is in 1 coat. This is 3 coats glossy, 3 coats matte. So I think this was one that I was a little disappointed because it seemed to dry down a little bit flat. I think having a glossy top coat does help. It helps bring out some of that sparkle. Some of those little glitter bits show through a little bit better. And then we went to the darker charcoal color called Tempted to Lick-orice, 1 coat, 3 coats glossy, 3 coats matte. I really like this one. It's almost like here with the matte top coat. If you are old enough to know what I mean when I say a TV static screen, that's kind of what that reminds me of there with the matte top coat. But very pretty. I do like this one. I didn't think I would like it, but this is one of my favorites probably. And then that pretty purple. This one was called Berry and Bright. Here it is, 1 coat, 3 coats glossy, 3 coats matte. Love that with the matte top coat. Really like it glossy. This was another one that was a little disappointing without a top coat because it just felt a little flat, but that top coat does seem to bring those sparkles alive. So love this one. If I had to pick favorites, this one for sure. This was Berry and Bright. Really like that one. This darker charcoal one. The silver is pretty. Disappointed. I mean, this is a dark blue cream. It's nice. And I really like this kind of rose gold. I think that's very, very pretty. Maybe that's a little closer to color there. I think it might be. But it really does have like rose to it, and then the gold. Very, very pretty. I like that one a lot. This is a kind of a favorite, a surprise favorite. I don't always go for gold colors, but this is just a little bit bronzy. I know it's not really looking like it on the camera, but a little bit bronzy, so I like that one. I think this is very pretty. I think this was the one called Ginger Snapped. I'm not positive, but I'm liking that with the matte top coat. And then a pretty brown cream, pretty red cream, and then that red with the gold shimmers. That's pretty too. So I think this is a pretty good holiday collection. I think it sums up holidays. You know, we got some reds. You know what we don't have? We don't really have a green, except for this. This is the closest to green we have. So yeah, we're missing a green in our holiday collection. But we have blue, we have silver, we have coal colored, in case you were naughty this year. This purple is so pretty. But yeah, of course we've got the reds, some browns. Yeah, I think it's a nice collection. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around and finish this up. All right, that was the OPI Holiday 2025. Yes, it's only the middle of September and I'm talking holidays already. Good enough to treat. As I said, I purchased these at polishpick.com. I would highly recommend her, even though I've had a little bit of bad luck the last two collections. Still highly, highly recommend Polish Pick. And if you do order from them, there's a little drop down in the order page. Tell them that Real Polish Fanatic sent you. But that is all I have. Let me know in the comments, what did you think of any of these? I definitely think this teal sparkly one should definitely have been called Better in the Bottle. Just looking at it right here, there's this super bright purple. I don't think I'll be able to show it to you. There's this super bright purple, there's blues, and there's that teal. None of that comes across on the nail, so I'm a little disappointed in that one. But like I said, maybe other lighting situations would show us more. But that is all I have. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Whatever is on your mind, please do leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorites are, if you might pick up any of these colors. I will have the Infinite Shine collection up, hopefully by the end of the weekend. If not, I'd say Monday at the very latest. I'm gonna say Tuesday at the very latest. I have something to do on Monday, but I think I should have it up by the weekend. I should be able to get that done on Saturday or Sunday, and then we'll have both of them up. But that's all I have. I do hope that you enjoyed this video, but I'm just gonna say happy holidays and goodbye for now.